Uh, you know, I know, like, when I kiss my wife goodbye and I say goodbye to my kids, it could be the last time. That hit home that day. So it was one of those kind of things that you never thought about, and now and then it was like, it just hit you. So you go through a lot of different ideas of, am I meant to do this? Is this my job? What's it worth? So it was that kind of thing, and then you deal with a lot of how are we gonna take care of each other? And that's eventually what kept me here, was that, I gotta take care of my guys. It's just one of those things that I've always wanted to do. Even when I was a little kid, I always had the fire trucks and stuff. Always had the toys. Used to have the helmet and the air pack. Even when I was a kid, my sister and my brother would always get stuffed animals even, and we'd throw them in the beds. And I would come in my little toy fire truck with a garden hose attached to it, and I pretend I put the fire out, and I'd rescue them, and had my little air mask on and talk. So it was just something that it was always a cool job. I always thought it'd be cool to serve the public. When these people call 911 for help, it could be their worst day in their lives, and you're there just to make it a little bit better. So you're always solving. You're always solving a problem. You're making things better. So you take a certain pride in that. You take a certain honor in that. The bad part is about the fire service is that I spend more time with these guys than I do my own family. So I maybe see on my days off, maybe see my kids and wife maybe 4 hours before they go to bed and they come home from school or work. Whereas with these guys, I'm there for 24 hours with them. So you start to learn about each other. You start to grow a bond toward each other, and you've got that. It's like an unspoken promise. You want to make sure that they're going to be okay and go home. When I first met Bruce, I was at rookie school, and you could tell he didn't like me. He kind of had that, he was kind of like, this guy's not going to be able to hack it. He's a big guy. He's not going to be able to tough it out. And it was about the time he was going through some tough times with his wife at the time. And he showed up at the station, and he got transferred to our station, and he showed up, and then also he looked at me and smiled, and we're looking out the window, and he's like, I met a girl. And I was like, awesome, dude, that's sweet, dude. And we talked about it and bonded over that, and then just over the amount of calls and time we spent together, we were tight. We were at the station for probably 4 or 5 years together, and we had some really crazy calls with some really good times, and just the way we bonded with each other and the way we worked with each other, it was just something that even then, we knew then, like, we'll never have a better crew than this. We'll never have as good as the time we're having right now.
I guess what they want, though, is that if you're getting that much water coming out of that nozzle, that tiny hole, that will give you the distance you want when it's wide open. And it's only that short of an orifice coming out.
So me and him, we used to volunteer when we go to the training academy, and we would see different guys coming, doing the testing process, and he would look at him and be like, he's not going to make it. And I was like, this guy's going to make it. We'd bet a soda or something. So we were getting ready to do the new hire process that day. And I texted him, 2 days before. I'm like, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you. I haven't seen you in a long time. This will be a good time. And I was driving into work, and a guy called me and said, man, they had something crazy happen on campus. Like, someone died in a building collapse. And I was like, man, I even heard about that. And I thought, man, that's horrible. Someone died. And I got to work, and there was one of the drivers been there for a long time, just crying his eyes out. And he was like, and I was like, dude, what's going on? And I thought he was upset about a civilian dying. And I came up to him, and I was kind of, giving him a hug and stuff. And he's like, no, dude, Bruce is dead. And I was like, Bruce Britt? Bruce wouldn't die. And he's like, yeah. So it just floored me. It was hard to take. It was a tough take.
Hey, hold on, guys. Hang on, fellers.
I've lost people before. I've lost family members before and friends before. But in this job, it was just different. It was like, kind of like you got a promise, an unspoken rule. And for me, it was hard just because even I thought like I failed. I wasn't there, but I felt like I failed. And it just gnawed at you and just kept tearing you up. And no matter what people say to you, no matter who reaches out to you, it's going to be up to you to finally realize you got to come to grips with it. And it took me time. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of time talking with people, and really, for me, it helped staying here. We had a fire department in New York, one of the biggest fire departments in the United States. I didn't know this, but when someone dies, they fly out firefighter guys to the service. So we were out after the service, and we're actually celebrating his life, Bruce's life. So we're having drinks and everything, and just getting wild, and kind of something just hit me. So I pulled one of these guys aside, and I said, "Dude, how do you do it? I mean, how do you keep going, knowing that one of your guys died?" And he was like, "Dude, I wouldn't been on FDNY for a little while, but I was in the military. I served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and I know what it's like to lose a friend. And you do it for the brotherhood. You do it for the guy next to you." And I was like, man, that was just hit me in the heart. I was finally like, all right, finally I've got something that I can run with here. I still got to find a way to get to that guy and reach out to him and tell him thanks, because that really, just that little couple sentences to me was like, hey, that makes sense.
151 331 to University. Clinton Clearance Service 4232.
You talk to some guys about it before Bruce's death, and they're like, dude, we're not going to die. What's the worst that can happen? Nothing. Dude, when are we going to die? Nothing bad's ever going to happen. And then it happens, and everyone's like, whew. And it was just kind of like, for me, I was just like, I don't know if I'm meant for this. It was such a great job until that point. And then that was when it was just like the darkest time. But you just realize that you got to do the best you can. You got to keep going. What's your alternative? You can stop? Well, am I going to go do something else? I mean, what's that doing for his spirit? What's that doing for him? And it's not fair to your guys that count on you.
There it goes. It's burn. This one's gonna burn. Nope.
I'm not saying I'm the best in the world. I'm not saying I'm the best at what I do. But I'm just saying that I know that I'm going to give everything I can for my guys. And I'm going to give everything I can for the people that I serve.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the crazy thing, is that there hasn't a day gone by that I haven't thought about him. So I constantly try to live how he'd want me to be here at work. That's the way I can live on his name.